What do women really want?
I don't care what they want. I only care what they respond to. See, my focus is a little bit different from your other guests. There's what women say they want, there's what women think they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
So what do they respond to?
They really respond to a guy who's a challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. And that's what I wrote my book for. I wrote my book for the average-looking, even ugly guy who goes out there in the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
So no more Mr. Nice Guy.
You can be pleasant. You see, we got to define our terms. By nice, I mean accommodating. When you accommodate, you get what the commode gets. You get the crapola. You have to learn how to say no to a woman.
Never trust a woman. Watch what she responds to, but never what she says. Guys lose because they marry potential and ignore patterns, but attraction isn't moral, it's selective. Evolution never wired women for honesty. It wired them for survival. She will say that she wants a nice guy and she'll sleep with the man who has status every time. So if you build your future on what she tells you instead of what's reinforced, you're choosing a life of confusion. But women are not evil. That is their biology. You either learn to read it or you keep arguing with nature itself.
How to increase attraction as a man and become more attractive to women. Let's dive in. Number one, stop listening to women about how to become attractive to women. Let me say that again. Stop listening to women about how to become attractive to women. Listen, when it comes to attraction, no woman really understands what she's truly attracted to. What they feel that they want is really not what they respond to. Women are designed to feel because they run more on emotions. And what they feel they want is majority of the times not really what they respond to. An average woman feels that she's drawn to men who tilt more toward the feminine strength. But in the real world of attraction, it is not what they respond to. An average woman feels that she likes men who can cook, clean, wash, and perform more feminine roles. But in the real world of attraction, those are the men that they feminize. Those are the men that they least respect. Those are the men that they do not desire sexually for the long term. Now, am I saying that it is bad for a man to fancy cooking, cleaning, washing, doing the dishes, and doing more feminine roles? No. But if you are doing it solely for the purpose of attracting women or getting women to desire you sexually, you are only going to get used by these women. The men that women love to sleep with are men who are dominant in masculine roles. Listen. Bring a man who can cook, clean, wash, do the dishes, and do other feminine roles, but is not all that dominant in his masculine role. He is not purpose-driven, he is not competent, he is not making enough money. And bring another man who does not cook, clean, wash, or do any other feminine role at all, but he is well-grounded in his masculine frame. He is purpose-driven, he is competent, he is working so hard and is making good money. He is not too agreeable. Majority of women are going to pick the man who does not cook, clean, wash, do the dishes, do other feminine role, but is competent, he is making good money, he is working hard. The man who is grounded in his masculine frame. I am telling you from experience. Know a bit of the feminine role in order to keep yourself rounded, but not for the purpose of impressing or attracting women. Not for the purpose of getting women to desire you sexually. You will get disappointed. The men that women tell you that they like is not the men that they get wet for. They like feminine men, but they are sleeping with masculine men. Number two, competence. Women love competent men. Now, by competence, I don't mean you should know how to fix the earth or do everything. I'm talking about the basic stuff. If you have a flat tire, can you actually get your hands dirty and try to fix it? And if you don't know how to fix it, do you have the capacity to know who to call to come fix it almost immediately? If your power generator breaks down, do you know where to touch to try to fix it, or who to call to turn up and come fix it immediately to keep it working? If something in the home breaks down, do you know who to call to come fix it? Or you have to wait for her to call her dad to come fix it? Are you willing to sometimes work extra hours toward achieving a big long-term goal? Do you always give up on anything that you start, or do you stick it in until you start seeing results? You need to understand how competence is very attractive to women. Be a competent man and she will continue to smash you for as long as she can. Women are so turned on by competent men. Number three, stop pretending, stop lying. Tell women exactly what you want. If it is sex that you want, tell her, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you in any way. but I don't want anything serious. Just maybe fun or some friends with benefits, and that's it. But if it's not something that you want, I respect that. Like I said, I don't mean to insult you in any way. Bro, that is another level of confidence that turns women madly on. But they will never tell you. They will claim that they want you to respect them and not tell them that kind of thing, even though that's what you want. But that's a lie. Listen, women like men who are blunt, fearless, confident, and not ready to impress them in any way. See, women sleep with a lot of men for free. Oh yes. As a matter of fact, the number of sex that is happening outside a relationship is far greater than the amount of sex that is happening within a relationship. For an average girl who is no longer a V, the amount of guys that she has slept with who she never had a relationship with is far greater than the amount of guys that she has slept with who she actually had a relationship with. For an average guy, the amount of women that he has slept with who he never had a relationship with is far greater than the amount of women who he has slept with who he actually had a relationship with. It is what it is. So the amount of sex going on outside a relationship is far greater than the amount of sex going on within relationship. So you are not getting because you are yet to understand what attraction means to women. You are still listening to what women tell you that they want and how they tell you that they want to be treated. What women say that they want is not what they really respond to. Whatever a woman tell you that she wants, the opposite is what she responds to. Number 4, care about making money more than you care about women. Let me say that again. Care about making money more than you care about women. Now, I didn't say care about making money more than you care about your woman. I said care about making money more than you care about women, not your woman. See, women don't like admitting this fact, but women do not like men who focus on them. Focus on women, they focus on other men who are not focusing on them. Women only focus on men who are focusing on a bigger picture that guarantees their survival and their security, because every of a woman's need boils down to security. The more you try to make your woman treat you nicely, she is never going to treat you nicely. The more you try to get your woman to value you, she will never value you. Listen, the reason why your woman will never value you is because you keep trying to sell your value to your woman instead of selling your value to the vast majority of other women. Now listen, here's where the value lies. Women want you to want them alone, but they don't want them alone to want you. Your woman wants you to want her alone, but she doesn't want to be the only one who wants you. So focusing effort on making sure that you try to prove to her that you want her alone. So focusing effort on making sure that you try to prove to her that you want her alone without first making sure that it is not her alone that wants you, and it's never going to be her alone that is going to ever want you, is why she doesn't want you. And even if she wants you, it is not going to be for a very long time. See, men always employ the concept of target marketing when it comes to attracting women. But unfortunately, women do not understand the concept of target marketing as far as attraction is concerned. The easiest way to attract the woman that you want is not to try to attract her or arouse her interest on an individual level, but to ignore her and try to arouse the interest of other women around her. That is the easiest way to get her to want you. If you want to get into the head of a woman, get into the head of other women around her. And the easiest way to get into the head of other women around her is not to hang around them or make friends with them or focus on them in any way, but to focus on yourself. See, you need to understand that every relationship is nothing but a value exchange. And women do not see the value that you give them. They see the value that you do not give them, which is the value that you give yourself. Listen, for an average woman to want you on a deep level, she has to wait for another woman or other women to want you. Or she has to see that there are other women who already want you. There are other women who are already wanting you. So the reason why your woman, your wife, is not seeing your value or is not treating you nicely is because you're still trying to make her see your value. You are still pitching your value to her. Until the day you stop focusing on trying to make her see your value and you begin to focus on yourself, which automatically is going to make other women begin to focus on you, she will never focus on you. See, sell your market to your woman alone. She is not going to be interested to buy, no matter how good she knows your product is. Sell to other women, and the moment she begins to see that the value of your product is appealing to other women, automatically she wants to buy. Listen, you can be a provider a major provider, and your woman, your wife, will still cheat on you and leave you. As a matter of fact, women currently are cheating more on providers. The women who are out there getting smashed by other men are no longer the women who their man or their husbands are not sufficiently providing for them, but the women who their men or their husbands are actively providing for. The problem is that men over the years have been brainwashed to believe that providing for a woman is the easiest way to keep her and retain her loyalty. But that's a lie. When you provide for your wife and you provide for your children, even at the expense of your own well-being, the society calls you responsible. And that is the real problem. Make sure your wife look good. Make sure your children look good. Take care of them. Your wife is a reflection of you. And majority of men capitalize on this and lose sight on their own well-being as well, without knowing that it is how well you provide for yourself that will sustain your woman's attraction, that will retain your woman's attraction for you. Listen, bro, majority of men who are strong providers have the most cheating wives. Oh yes, I said that, and you can get upset for all I care. See, show me a man who takes good care of his woman, buys her good stuff and makes sure she looks good, who does not really invest much on his own good looks and well-being as well. I will show you a man whose wife is actively cheating on, or will soon start cheating on. Listen, be a provider, but be a provider that equally knows how to provide for himself. Listen, a provider is attractive to women, but a provider who knows how to equally provide for himself is super attractive. Only focus on improving your wife's life, your children's life. Your wife will soon start focusing on men who knows how to focus on themselves, who knows how to focus on their own improvement, who knows how to prioritize their own growth, who knows how to invest in themselves. Women are not what you think they are, and they will never tell you. They will only show you who they are if you let them. No matter what you bring to the table, bro, don't forget to bring yourself. And by bringing yourself, I mean keep improving the quality of the value of your life in all means, in all areas. It is not what you do for a woman that keeps her with you. It is what you do with yourself. There is no man who is improving the life of a woman beyond his, who is her best option. Every woman's best option is a man who is improving his life beyond hers. The only power you have in your relationship is your attractiveness to other women. That is your hidden power that you don't know about. Guard it with your life. Remain attractive to other women. Your woman will forever be drawn to you.
On one side, there's what a woman says she wants, what she thinks she wants. And on the other, there's what she actually responds to, what really works out there in the real world when choosing a man. This young, pretty woman says,
I just want a sensitive guy who always listens to me, who's sweet, who brings me flowers, who reminds me every day how beautiful I am, and who texts me all the time to show he's thinking about me.
But when a guy actually offers her all that, she turns him down, because that's not what she responds to. Then there's this other woman, a little older, who says,
I just want a hardworking, responsible man who stays out of trouble, who spoils me, asks me what I want to do, where I want to go, who calls and texts me. I want to be his priority.
That's what she says and thinks she wants. But again, it's not what she actually responds to. So what do women respond to out there in real life? Women respond really well to a guy who's a mystery, who feels like a challenge, someone they can't figure out. Let's break it down with a simple chart of the 3 male archetypes women are most drawn to. The vampire from Twilight, the dominant billionaire from 50 Shades of Grey, and the beast from Beauty and the Beast. What do these guys all have in common? What is it about them that sparks desire, curiosity, even obsession? First of all, they're all a mystery. The beast has a forbidden room where he hides his vulnerable side. The vampire disappears all the time without explanation and hides a dark, painful past. Christian Grey has locked up rooms full of pleasure and pain, and he's hiding deep emotional wounds. Second trait women respond to, power. The beast is rich and has brute strength. Christian Grey is a wealthy powerhouse. And the vampire? He's got super strength and speed. All 3 are dominant and protective. The beast saves her from the wolves, and then she heals him. That's where the romance begins. The vampire and the billionaire, they're secretly watching over her, always showing up to save the day. Next up, inner darkness. All 3 have a deep, dark side. And for many women, the fantasy is to transform the monster, to turn the beast into a prince, to take this mysterious, powerful, emotionally closed-off man and help him become loving and good. Life rule? Stop being so nice. Get more attractive by embracing your dark side.
Women love the fact that you can cheat. Yeah, I know that sounds stupid, but let me explain. Now listen, I don't actually mean that women love when you cheat or women love you cheating on them. Women love the fact that you can cheat. They know that you have the ability to cheat. They don't actually want you to cheat. She wants to know that you can. She wants to know that you would if you want, but she still wants to know that you don't. This sounds like some weird stuff, but it's real. See, cheating is not the same for men and women. For women, cheating is about desire. For men, cheating is about capacity. A woman can simply desire to cheat or have sex, and automatically she has a bunch of men who are willing and ready to sleep with her. But no matter how much a man desires to cheat or have sex, he needs to first build capacity, which is majorly resources, good looks, confidence, intelligence that will attract the women before he can actually cheat. And women know this. Listen, if your girlfriend should post on her WhatsApp status right now that she is horny and would like to have some sex, believe me, almost all the men in her contact list will be in her DM competing for a slot. But if you post the same thing right now on your WhatsApp status, there is every tendency that you don't even get a DM. You might possibly only get few DMs if you're a man with means, a man with resources, a man with value, which is the capacity to cheat. Women want you to be able to get coochie, but they don't want you to have the coochie. They want other women to desire you, but they don't want you to have the women. It is crazy. Women want when they are associated with you, when they go out with you in public, other women are checking you out. They want to know that you are a select man. It means to them that you have value. Every woman likes to feel like she got the best end of the deal. No woman wants to be with a man who no other woman wants. So the higher chance of other women wanting you, the higher chance of you being able to cheat, the higher your woman's attraction is going to be for you.
So I'm going to tell you right here what women actually respond to best. They respond best to that energy that says, I don't care. You can take it or leave it. Nonchalant attitude, like I have a nice bed and I got food in the fridge already, so I don't really need to talk to anyone because I'm good. That's what women respond to. So there's guys that tell themselves, well, if I just talked a little bit more and got out of my comfort zone, if I just was a little bit more assertive when I said hello, like instead of saying hello, I said hello. Oh yeah, then she would have really liked me. The things that men convince themselves of in order to try to convince themselves why they should have more options or why these deficits in their life are occurring is so backwards. And the reason why it's backwards and why you'll never figure it out unless you understand these principles is because her emotions are opposite to your logic. Okay? So women actually love the attitude that is nonchalant, that signals that you don't care. Because that's how a true king would carry himself.
Women need you not to care in order for them to like you and want you. Now, I don't care how that sounds to you. I don't care how that makes you feel. I don't even care whether you like me for saying that or not. Women need you not to care literally about anything when it comes to them. Not care about them liking you, not care about them feeling good about you, not care about keeping them, not care about losing them, not care about them cheating on you, not care about them being loyal, not care about them wanting to leave you in order for them to like you and want you. I know that this is pure opposite to your psychology about women, but let's explain further. Now, women operate on hypergamy as their nature, which means that women naturally crave what is better than them. Now, what is better to women is not always what is more. Although more is still a part of hypergamy that matters to women, but it is not always about having more or being more than her. Better to women is not wanting her as much as she wants you. What looks better to women is whatever does not act like it wants her so much, no matter how hot or how beautiful she is. You can be more than a woman. You can have more money, more resources, more class, more education, more exposure. But the moment you begin to display that you want her so much, you automatically submit the power to her. You automatically assume the weaker position. Now, you are just more than her, but she has become better than you. Being more than a woman does not have any significant effect on satisfying hypergamy if she does not perceive you as better than her. Listen, the moment you begin to display that you care about having a woman or being with a woman so much, automatically in her head, it begins to imply that you have low SMV. It implies in her head that you have low SMV than her. It implies in her head that you have lower dating value than other options that she could talk to, she could go on dates with and sleep with. Women need you not to care in order for them to like you and want you. Now, when I say not care, I mean treating her not better than how she presents herself to you. Treating her according to how she presents herself to you. Not trying to change her, not trying to convince her, not trying to prove anything. You relate with her not more or better than how she presents herself to you. For example, you approach her and you're dealing with her and you notice that she's giving low energy vibe or low interest vibe. She's not responding the way she needs to respond. She's not calling the way she needs to call. She's not showing up the way she needs to show up. She's not showing interest the way she needs to show interest. She's not being forthcoming the way she ought to, even after accepting to date you. Now, what you do is automatically switch to low interest vibe and low energy vibe. Don't you ever try to give her better treatment than she gives you. The moment you do, you've sold out yourself as low value. One of the laws of female nature is never treat women better than they treat you. She will forever feel that she is better than you. The more you care about a woman liking you, the less she likes you. The more you care about a woman wanting you, the less she wants you. The more you care about proving yourself to her, the more she never finds you worthy to have her. This is the model of female nature. Consciously or subconsciously expressing interest in a woman turns her off. What turns her on is a man that cares less. Listen, as far as the dating game is concerned with women, the easiest way to win is not to play at all. Try to play, you lose. Show that you want her so much, you lose. Don't show that you want her so much, you win. Show that you want her to stay and is afraid to lose her, you lose. Don't give an F if she decides to leave and respect her decision to leave, you win. Do everything to prove your love for her. She will never find you worthy to have her. Approach her, but don't care about proving anything and let her decide what she wants. She automatically wants you. Solve all her problems. She sees you as the next problem that needs to be solved. Let her earn your resources, your money, your time, your energy, your attention through her cooperative behavior, and watch her put in more work to earn more of your time, attention, energy, and resources through more cooperative behavior. Women only fall in love with men who give them less of everything, not with men who give them more of everything. Anytime you see a woman who is with a man who wants her more than she wants him, she obviously settled. A woman have to beg directly or indirectly to have a relationship with you for her to fully commit to you. Now, let's put it better this way. Until a woman begs directly or indirectly, overtly or covertly, that she will really love to have a relationship with you, she is not going to fully give you her best in that relationship. Now, for those of you who have a hard time understanding my teachings, let me simply put it this way. It requires a woman to be so thankful to be in a relationship with you, to have you in a relationship, for her to fully commit to you and give you her best in that relationship. Here is what you need to understand. The primary thing that triggers respect and submission from women as far as romantic relationship is concerned is not your love for them. It is not your provision. It is not your protection. It is not your care. It is not your being available. It is not even your intentions towards them, but their interest in you. A woman's interest in you is the primary thing that triggers her respect for you. A woman desiring you so much to the point of displaying directly or indirectly that she would really love to have a relationship with you, be with you, or even experience you, goes a very long way to define her level of interest in you. This is why I always say that if a woman does not beg for the relationship, she will most probably cheat on you, disrespect you, and emotionally plant seeds with other men until she can replace you. See, there is only one dynamic in every romantic relationship. One person must beg to be with the other. And by begging, I mean that one person must show a deeper level of interest in the other person. One person must display deeper level of interest in being with the other person. One person must try to convince the other or give the other reasons, directly or indirectly, why they should choose them. One person must want the other more. So it's either you are the one begging her to stay with you, or she's the one begging you to stay with her. So if a woman is the one begging to have a relationship with you, that means if she's the one who desires the relationship more, that means that she sees value in you. She sees worth, and that is the only time that she's going to try to silence the urge to let her emotions run the relationship and give way for the relationship to thrive based on your own emotions and logic. But if you're the one begging for the relationship, that is, if you're the one who desires to have a relationship with her more, the reverse is going to be the case. The relationship is definitely going to be run by her own emotions. And the woman's emotions never naturally values and respects the man who wants her more than she wants him.
One of the most important resources for which women transact their sexual opportunity is a attention. And today, I'm going to be talking about how this particular resource, attention, leads to all kinds of strange power dynamics in the context of modern relationships. I'm going to say this as clearly and directly as possible. Sex is the most reinforcing thing you can give to a man, and attention is the most reinforcing thing you can give to a woman. Can't make it any simpler than that. And this is really important to deeply consider, as it means that each sex has the ability to really influence the behavior of the other. For instance, women could actually significantly change male behavior on like the population level. They would just have to fuck the men who do the things that women insist they want them to do. You hear this all the time in modern culture. Women want men who are, say, emotionally available, or men with green flags, or men who make an effort. But here's the thing. Women don't fuck these men, and men know this.
A lot of people may not get this, may be offended because of the time we live in. I don't give a fuck. But the best thing I ever did when it comes to relationships is I stopped listening to what women said and I started to pay attention to what they responded to. Let me break that down for you. I was raised just like most other guys, right? We were literally raised to be a lover boy. We were raised to be overly nice and all of this shit. Basically, we were raised to be the types of guys that women did not want. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said a long time ago that most guys were raised by their moms to be the types of guys that women just did not want, right? And it's like, rarely do you find a guy who gets the truth about relationships from his mama. You know, if you do, you kind of got a leg up on a lot of fucking dudes. Now, I genuinely did not get that, so I had to learn the hard way like a lot of motherfuckers. But it is what it is. And I'm talking about, I'm the lover boy motherfucker. I want to write letters. I want to talk to you all day long. I trying to hug up on you, kiss up on you, do all this fucking dumb shit. I trying to, buy shit, have fun, all this, cutesy, lover boy bullshit. And that shit just never worked. It just never fucking worked. And then I realized the guys who, call it what it is, the guys who treat women like shit, they always got what they wanted out of relationships. Here's the conflict with that. I can't sit here and treat a woman like one of these guys. I can't sit here and do these things with malicious intent because they may not have, done it that way, but from the outside looking in, it looks like that. You see what I'm saying? So I had to think, because all I do is think. I had to think there is a sweet medium somewhere that I could both be who I am and get what I want out of a relationship. And when I tell you, paying attention to what women respond to and ignoring what the fuck they say was the greatest thing that I have. Man, listen, dog, because I could tell you straight up, hey, man, people who say shit about me, people who talk shit about me, that shit don't fucking work. That shit don't bother me. And then a motherfucker be like, oh yeah? Well, you're fat. And I'd be like, you motherfucker. Isn't that a contradiction? I told you nothing bothers me. This person said something and it bothered me. You gotta pay attention to what I react to and not what I fucking say. Unless what I say lines up with my actions. Which in a lot of times, you won't really see that in relationships. You won't really see that firsthand, I should say. So, in my opinion, bro, I ain't telling you to go out here and do no wild shit. What I will tell you is to pay more attention to what women react to and less attention to what they say.
Alright, so boom, you don't need to be a bad guy to attract women. A lot of men think they need to be evil to get women interested in them. They be complaining, oh, I'm a nice guy, they always choose the bad guy. And it's not that they don't like men who are good people, but that they are attracted to men who have self-respect, who won't bend to everyone's expectations. Men who can't be controlled and show internal strength. A woman's love and attraction for a man is based on her respect for him. And respect is built by the things that you won't do, not by what you will do. Nice guys are eager to please, so they destroy respect. Bad guys refuse to cater to others, so it forces them to respect him. Saying no to things you don't want to do may make a woman angry, sad, or even leave. However, it will make her respect you more. It is setting boundaries on what you are willing to do and how you want to be treated. It's like putting rules on a kid. They may freak out or get upset when they can't break the rules or their parents refuse to spoil them, but hopefully it will raise them to be better people who respect others. Being a bad guy is the equivalent of setting rules for a kid and beating them to enforce it. Being a nice guy is the same as giving in to the kid every time it cries and eventually spoiling it. So no, you don't need to be a bad guy to be attractive to women. You can instead be a good guy who enforces boundaries and is his own person. It's being sweet and also being able to say no. If she refuses to respect you and leaves, all she wanted was control, which only causes toxicity, drama, and for you to get used. Don't be a bad guy, just figure out what you will and won't tolerate.
Picture this. You've been working out for 2 years, you've built your business to 6 figures, you drive a nice car and you dress well. On paper, you're everything that dating coaches tell you women want. But when you interact with women, something feels off. They're polite but not passionate. They'll go on dates but won't chase you. You feel like you're always the one putting in effort while they remain emotionally distant. Meanwhile, you watch your friend who lives in a studio apartment, drives an old car, and has no impressive credentials on paper, yet women become absolutely obsessed with him. They text him constantly, they pursue him aggressively, and they'll do anything to keep his attention. You can't understand what he has that you don't. What if I told you that everything you've been taught about female attraction is not just wrong, but completely backwards? What if I told you that the very things you think make you attractive are actually killing women's desire for you? And what if I told you that the secret to making women addicted to you has nothing to do with your achievements and everything to do with your internal state? Today, I'm going to reveal the hidden psychology behind female addiction and obsession. I'm going to show you exactly how women fall into deep, consuming desire for certain men while remaining completely indifferent to others who seem objectively better. But I need to warn you, what you're about to learn will shatter everything you believe about attraction, success, and your own self-worth. This isn't just dating advice. This is a complete paradigm shift that will change how you see yourself and how you interact with the world. Pay close attention, because once you understand these principles, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. Before we dive into how women get addicted, we need to destroy the biggest lie that's been sold to men about attraction. Society has convinced you that female desire works like a checklist, that if you accumulate enough value, status, and achievements, women will automatically become attracted to you. This is the blueprint they've sold you. Get in shape, make money, develop social skills, learn game, demonstrate your worth, and women will fall in love with you. They've told you that attraction is about chemistry, compatibility, and proving your value through external accomplishments. The men who believe this spend years building themselves up externally while remaining completely unattractive to women. They become frustrated, bitter, and confused because they're following a roadmap that leads nowhere. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. Women don't fall in love with your achievements. They fall in love with your internal state. They don't get addicted to what you have. They get addicted to who you are when nobody's watching. The most attractive quality a man can possess has nothing to do with his bank account, his physique, or his social status. It's something far more rare and powerful, and it's something that most men will never develop because they're too busy chasing external validation. Let me introduce you to the concept that will revolutionize your understanding of attraction. Sexual market value discrepancy. This is the hidden mechanism behind every case of female obsession and addiction. Women only develop deep, consuming attraction when they perceive a man's sexual market value as significantly higher than their own. But here's where everyone gets it wrong. Sexual market value isn't determined by objective measurements like income or looks. It's determined by perception, and perception is controlled by your internal state. Let me give you an example that will illustrate this perfectly. Imagine you're at a bar with 10 people, 4 men and 6 women. One of the men is a multi-millionaire with a private jet, perfect physique, and designer clothes. Another man is broke, drives an old car, and wears basic clothes. But when someone makes a comment, the broke guy delivers a perfectly timed, witty response without trying to be funny. He says it with complete confidence and authenticity. In that moment, every woman in the group will feel more attraction toward him than the millionaire, because he just demonstrated higher sexual market value through his internal state. This is what most men don't understand. Sexual market value is about energy, not inventory. It's about how you carry yourself, not what you carry in your wallet. A man with internal confidence and authenticity will always outrank a man with external achievements who lacks those qualities. Women operate on what I call the frame of value system. This is how they categorize and rank men in their minds, and it has nothing to do with your resume or your achievements. When a woman meets you, she's not calculating your net worth or counting your muscles. She's reading your energy signature. She's asking herself unconscious questions. Does this man know his own worth? Is he seeking my approval? Does he need me to validate him? Is he comfortable in his own skin? Within seconds, she's placed you in one of two categories, above me or below me. If she perceives you as above her, she'll begin the process of becoming addicted to you. If she perceives you as below her, she'll lose interest no matter how impressive your credentials are. The cruel irony is that the men who try hardest to impress women automatically place themselves in the below me category. When you're working to prove your worth, you're communicating that you don't believe you have inherent value. This is the kiss of death for attraction. Meanwhile, the man who doesn't try to impress anyone, who's comfortable with himself, and who doesn't need external validation automatically signals higher value. He's placed in the above me category, and her addiction begins. One of the most powerful triggers for female addiction is pre-selection, the perception that other women desire you. But most men completely misunderstand how pre-selection works. They think pre-selection means flirting with other women in front of their target or bragging about their dating success. This is amateur hour thinking that actually backfires because it shows you're trying too hard to demonstrate value. Real pre-selection is subtle and authentic. It's the energy of a man who has options but isn't desperate to exercise them. It's the confidence that comes from knowing you're desired, not from trying to prove you're desired. When a woman senses that other women find you attractive, she doesn't just become competitive, she becomes curious. She starts wondering what those other women see in you. This curiosity is the first stage of addiction. But here's the key. You can't fake pre-selection. Women have evolved to detect authenticity at a subconscious level. If you're pretending to have options while secretly being desperate for her attention, she'll sense the incongruence and lose interest. This brings us to one of the most important concepts in understanding female psychology, the difference between internal and external value. Most men spend their entire lives building external value, money, status, achievements, physical improvements, while completely neglecting their internal state. They think that if they just accumulate enough external markers of success, they'll automatically become confident and attractive. But here's what actually happens. You can give a man $5 million, perfect abs, celebrity status, and model-level looks, and if his internal state is still insecure and needy, he'll remain unattractive to women. Meanwhile, a man with average external circumstances but bulletproof internal confidence will have women fighting over him. Why? Because women are attracted to energy, not assets. They fall in love with how you make them feel, not what you can buy them. When your confidence comes from external achievements, it's fragile and conditional. But when your confidence comes from genuine self-acceptance and internal peace, it's magnetic and unshakable. The men who understand this truth stop chasing external validation and start developing internal strength. They become outcome-independent, self-validated, and genuinely confident. These are the men that women become addicted to. Nothing kills female attraction faster than a man seeking validation. When you need her approval, her compliments, or her attention to feel good about yourself, you've entered what I call the validation death spiral. This is why so many men who seem successful on paper struggle with women. They've built their entire identity around external achievements, but they still need others to validate those achievements to feel worthy. They're like successful beggars. They have a lot to offer, but they're still begging for approval. Women can sense this neediness immediately. When you're seeking validation, you're communicating that you don't believe in your own worth. And if you don't believe in your own worth, why should she? The men who create female addiction operate from the opposite mindset. They're self-validated. They know their worth without needing anyone else to confirm it. They can receive compliments without becoming attached to them, and they can receive criticism without being destroyed by it. This self-validation is incredibly attractive because it's so rare. Most people are desperately seeking approval from others, so when you encounter someone who doesn't need your approval, it immediately elevates their status in your mind. One of the most attractive qualities a man can develop is the ability to be fully present in the moment. This sounds simple, but it's actually incredibly rare and powerful. Most men are either living in the past, regrets, failures, comparisons, or the future, goals, plans, what-ifs. They're never truly present with the woman they're talking to because their minds are racing with strategies, techniques, and outcomes. But when you can be fully present, truly listening, genuinely engaged, completely comfortable with silence, you create a magnetic field that draws women in. They feel seen, heard, and valued in a way that most men can't provide. This presence also communicates confidence and self-assurance. A man who can be still and present isn't anxious about the future or haunted by the past. He's comfortable with himself and his current circumstances, which is incredibly attractive. Here's a mind-bending truth that will change everything. Most of your goals, desires, and insecurities aren't actually yours. They've been programmed into you by society, media, and social conditioning. Think about it. Why do you want a six-pack? Why do you want an expensive car? Why do you want to make a certain amount of money? If you're honest, it's probably because you've been told these things will make you attractive, successful, or worthy. But what if you started with a clean slate? What if you ignored everything society told you to want and asked yourself what you actually desire? Most men have never done this exercise because they're too busy chasing goals that aren't even their own. The men who create female addiction have broken free from this constructed reality. They live according to their own values, pursue their own interests, and define success on their own terms. This authenticity is magnetic because it's so rare in a world full of programmed people. Most men think they want external achievements when what they really want is confidence. They think they want abs when what they really want is the confidence they believe abs will give them. They think they want money when what they really want is the confidence they believe money will provide. But here's the problem. External achievements don't create genuine confidence. They create conditional confidence that disappears the moment those achievements are threatened. Real confidence comes from self-acceptance, not self-improvement. It comes from being okay with who you are right now, not from becoming someone different. This is why some of the most successful men are still insecure, while some ordinary men have unshakable confidence. When you try to build confidence through external achievements, you're essentially telling yourself that you're not good enough as you are. This message gets internalized and actually makes you less confident, not more. Here's a controversial truth that most men don't want to hear. When sex becomes your primary goal with women, you give them all the power. Think about it logically. If your happiness, self-worth, and satisfaction depend on whether a woman sleeps with you, you've made her the gatekeeper of your emotional state. She controls whether you feel good or bad about yourself. Women can sense this desperation immediately. When they know that sex is what you're really after, they understand that they have leverage over you. They can use the promise of sex to manipulate your behavior, and they can withdraw it to punish you. But when sex isn't your primary focus, when you're genuinely interested in connection, conversation, and enjoying the moment, you maintain your power. You're not dependent on her for validation or satisfaction, which paradoxically makes her more likely to pursue you sexually. This brings us to one of the most counterintuitive principles of attraction. Sometimes the most attractive thing you can do is say no to sex. When you can turn down sexual opportunities because you're not in the right headspace, because you want to build more connection first, or simply because you don't feel like it, you demonstrate a level of abundance and self-control that most men lack. This behavior sends several powerful messages. You have options, you're not desperate, you value more than just physical pleasure, and you can't be easily manipulated. All of these qualities are incredibly attractive to women. Most men are so starved for female attention that they'll accept any sexual opportunity, regardless of the circumstances. But the men who create female addiction understand that sometimes rejection is more powerful than acceptance. At the heart of male attractiveness is stoicism, the ability to remain calm, centered, and unaffected by external circumstances. This doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being emotionally stable and grounded. When you can maintain your internal state regardless of how she treats you, what she says, or how she tests you, you demonstrate the kind of strength that women find irresistible. You become like a rock in a storm, solid, reliable, and unshakable. This stoicism also allows you to be truly present with her. When you're not worried about outcomes, seeking validation, or trying to impress her, you can simply enjoy her company for what it is. This authentic connection is what creates deep attraction and addiction. Understanding how women experience attraction differently from men is crucial to creating addiction. Men are primarily visual creatures, We're attracted to what we see. But women are primarily emotional creatures. They're attracted to how they feel. This is why women can become obsessed with men who aren't particularly handsome, while remaining indifferent to very attractive men who don't make them feel anything. It's why they read romance novels and get aroused by words and emotions rather than just visual imagery. When you understand that women fall in love through their emotions, you stop focusing on how you look and start focusing on how you make them feel. You realize that your personality, your energy, and your presence are far more important than your physical appearance. Grounded men are magnetic to women because groundedness is so rare in modern society. Most men are anxious, reactive, and constantly seeking something outside themselves to feel complete. But when you're grounded, truly comfortable with yourself, your life, and your circumstances, you become like a magnet. People are drawn to your stability and peace. Women especially are attracted to this energy because it makes them feel safe and secure. Groundedness also prevents you from falling into the common traps that kill attraction, neediness, validation seeking, outcome dependence, and emotional reactivity. When you're grounded, you maintain your center regardless of what's happening around you. The ultimate secret to creating female addiction is developing genuine internal peace. This means being completely okay with who you are, where you are, and what you have right now. This doesn't mean you stop growing or improving. It means you improve from a place of self-love rather than self-rejection. You work on yourself because you want to, not because you think you need to in order to be worthy of love. When you achieve this internal peace, several things happen. You stop seeking validation from others. You become naturally confident and authentic. You're comfortable with silence and solitude. You don't need anyone else to complete you. You can give love without needing it returned. This energy is intoxicating to women because it's so rare. Most people are walking around with internal wounds, insecurities, and neediness. When you encounter someone who has truly healed and found peace with themselves, it's magnetic. Women get addicted to men who can create authentic connection. This isn't about having things in common or sharing interests. It's about being able to meet her in the moment, truly see her, and connect with her essence. This requires presence, empathy, and emotional intelligence. You need to be able to read her energy, understand her emotions, and respond authentically rather than strategically. Most men are so focused on technique, tactics, and outcomes that they never learn to truly connect. They're having conversations while thinking about their next move rather than being present with what's happening right now. The deepest form of attraction occurs when masculine and feminine energies come together in perfect polarity. This has nothing to do with gender roles or traditional relationships. It's about energy dynamics. Masculine energy is characterized by presence, direction, strength, and groundedness. Feminine energy is characterized by flow, emotion, intuition, and receptivity. When these energies meet in balance, they create magnetic attraction. Most modern men have lost touch with their masculine energy. They've become reactive, emotional, and validation-seeking, traditionally feminine traits. Meanwhile, many women have had to develop masculine traits to succeed in the modern world. When a woman encounters a man who is truly grounded in his masculine energy, she can relax into her feminine energy. This creates the polarity that generates deep attraction and addiction. Perhaps the most powerful trait you can develop is non-reactivity. This means maintaining your emotional state regardless of what she says or does. You don't get upset when she tests you, excited when she compliments you, or anxious when she's distant. This non-reactivity demonstrates several attractive qualities: emotional stability and maturity, confidence in your own worth, abundance mentality, you're not desperate for her approval, leadership potential, you can handle pressure, mystery, she can't easily manipulate or predict you. When you're non-reactive, you force her to work harder to get emotional responses from you. This creates investment on her part, and investment leads to attachment. Now that you understand the psychology behind female addiction, how do you implement these concepts in your own life? Audit your motivations. Look at everything you're currently pursuing and ask yourself, am I doing this for me or for others' approval? Be brutally honest. If you're working out to impress women, making money to gain status, or developing skills to prove your worth, you're in the validation trap. Develop internal validation. Start deriving your self-worth from internal sources rather than external achievements. Practice self-acceptance, self-compassion, and self-love. Learn to validate yourself so you don't need others to do it for you. Cultivate presence. Practice being fully present in your interactions. Put away your phone, stop planning your next move, and just be with whoever you're talking to. This simple shift will dramatically improve the quality of your connections. Embrace authenticity. Stop trying to be what you think women want and start being who you actually are. This requires courage because you risk rejection, but it's the only way to create genuine attraction. Develop stoicism. Work on your emotional regulation. Practice remaining calm under pressure, unaffected by criticism, and centered regardless of circumstances. This is the foundation of masculine attractiveness. Create internal peace. Do the inner work necessary to heal your wounds, resolve your insecurities, and find peace with yourself. This might involve therapy, meditation, spiritual practice, or personal development work. Understanding how women get addicted isn't just about dating success. It's about becoming the kind of man who attracts quality people and relationships into his life. When you embody these principles, you'll notice that not just women, but everyone starts treating you with more respect and interest. This is because these qualities, authenticity, presence, groundedness, non-reactivity, internal peace, are universally attractive. They make you a better leader, friend, colleague, and human being. Before we conclude, I need to give you a serious warning. Do not use this knowledge to manipulate or harm women. The principles I've shared are powerful, and with power comes responsibility. Use this understanding to become a better man, not to exploit vulnerable people. The goal is to create genuine connection and mutual attraction, not to manipulate others for selfish gain. Remember that women are human beings with their own desires, fears, and vulnerabilities. Treat them with respect and compassion, even as you apply these psychological principles. The ultimate secret to creating female addiction is this: become so comfortable with yourself that you don't need anyone else to complete you. When you're truly self-sufficient emotionally, when you're genuinely at peace with who you are, when you're living authentically according to your own values, you become magnetic. This isn't about tricks, techniques, or manipulation. It's about fundamental transformation from the inside out. It's about becoming the kind of man that you would respect and admire. The journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. When you do this work, you don't just become more attractive to women, you become more attractive to yourself. You start living a life that you're genuinely excited about, with or without romantic success. And ironically, it's when you reach this point, when you're truly complete within yourself, that women will start becoming addicted to you. Because you'll possess the rarest quality in the modern world, a man who knows his worth and doesn't need anyone else to validate it. This is the secret that the dating industry doesn't want you to know, because it can't be packaged into a simple course or technique. It requires real work, real growth, and real transformation. But for the men who are willing to do this work, the rewards are extraordinary. You'll not only attract the women you desire, you'll become the man you've always wanted to be.
There is what people say they want, what they think they want, and then what they actually respond to. Ross Jeffries wrote an entire book on this, where he says your only concern should be with what people respond to, especially as it relates to women in the dating market. Being nice and accommodating will get you nowhere. People only respect and respond to people that they perceive as capable and confident, not people that fold for the sake of others. Being nice is negotiation, not strength. People react the most to a perceived threat, and the ultimate threat is when your absence makes their life worse off.